Thanks for joining us for the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders at Branded Strategic share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Michael Schatzberg, otherwise known as the Restaurant Guy. And today we have a very special episode, actually. My partner in crime, Jimmy Frischling, the finance guy, due to some technical difficulties, will not be with us today. But in place, we have our very own Rev, the marketing guy. The marketing guy is here, and we are live at the Fast Casual Summit in Indianapolis. Let me introduce you to my partner and co-host today, Rev. Great to have you here. Talk to me.
I'm super excited to be here. I was wondering what kind of guy I was going to be. I wasn't sure if it's like the pizza guy or the revenue guy.
You're the marketing guy. You're the marketing guy today for this very special episode live in Indy. It's great to be in Indy, right?
This is one of the best conferences I've ever been to.
I haven't been here since the Jets played the Colts in the AFC Championship. It was quite a few years ago, and I look forward to coming back to another Jets-Colts AFC Championship game. We had a really, really special episode live from the Fast Casual Summit. We are very, very fortunate, to have with us a very busy Kathy Doyle, the president and publisher of Networld Media. These are the folks that put on the Fast Casual Summit. They do a lot of things. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to let Kathy introduce herself. Kathy, take it away.
Thanks so much. So the Fast Casual Executive Summit, we're now in our 17th year. And, back 17 years ago, we kind of brought this model to the industry, which is about fun, networking, and learning, tying it all together. I mean, I don't care what you do for a living, no matter how much you love it. Some days are longer than others. So when you can throw some fun in there and people are having a good time, a lot of things get done and deals get done and people learn and they move forward when they're on the road. So that's the real mission of the Fast Casual Executive Summit. We are fortunate to have 9 business sites behind us. And so we have many food service sites, and we sort of have, built a club over the years.
You certainly have.
Of people, yeah. And we built the content around 2 buckets, challenges and growth. So challenges, you have your usual issues. You have your supply chain woes, your considerations around delivery apps, lease and location management, all the things that the operators and the high-level people here in the room have to face. And then we have this whole other bucket of content, which is about growth, about the rise of self-service, about POS and payments and all the change that's happened over the years. And the future is digital was our keynote this year. So that sort of gives you a overlay of what we're about.
I love it, Kathy.
Something I think we always look forward to at Networld events is really the caliber of the speakers, the people that are on stage, and the unique topics that are coming out. Can you share maybe 1 or 2 take homes about your strategy for putting that together?
Excuse me?
Like how you think about who should be on stage and what topics should be on stage.
What we do is, so that's a good question, okay? What we do is we don't just take the hot topics of the day. Of course we address those, okay? But we take on the continuing challenges, and we try to find speakers that can match that and talk about that in a great way. I mean, I'm sure you were all in attendance to the Fast Casual Hall of Fame, which was brand new this year.
Loved it. Loved the Hall of Fame.
Fantastic.
I don't know why I'm not in the Hall of Fame, but give me some time. I'll get there, Kathy.
Fantastic. But you'll see that, Carl Howard and Blaine Hurst and Karen Stutz, they've been great speakers for us over the years. Okay.
I saw Carl, he said 17 years, I think he's been coming here.
Yeah.
Is that how long you've been around?
17 years.
So he was the first guy. There was
That's
like 3
right.
people at the conference
That's
then,
right.
I think.
And Carl is just a great human being.
He really is.
Okay. He's given a lot of his time to this industry, a lot of his time speaking and mentoring and helping. I mean, I just personally think he's wonderful. But so that's a great question. We form a club and we work with these people and we have relationships with them, not only through the Fast Casual Executive Summit, but through all of the things we do in our media business.
That is awesome. So let me ask you something. So what's new at Networld?
So a couple of things. We first of all, self-service innovation, huge. It was huge before the pandemic. It was rising. So we are in our third year now of a physical event called the Self-Service Innovation Summit. And by the way, that's not just about food service. It's about banking, and it's about all the other customer service, digital signage, if you will, etc. And so that's been very, very, very successful for us. And
that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, there's so much going on here.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you want our listeners to know about how they can work with you on your events, your publications, what would it be?
So sit down with us and tell us about your strategy first. You know, we need to know about who you are and what you do and what you're trying to accomplish. And then we can help you. I mean, we especially with our vendors and suppliers, we want to sell them products that work for them. And as far as the operators and the other side of our audience, we're constantly surveying them. We don't want to decide what your needs are. You have to tell us what your needs are. So that's the best way to work with us. This year, we're actually getting into more content around the pizza market because they're growing up to be.
Hey, one thing Rev likes is pizza. He knows a little something about pizza.
I heard there's good margins.
Yeah, so that's really been exploding over the past decade, and now a lot of them are becoming fast casuals, and we help them. We're now doing a top pizza gala, and we're doing a virtual summit, and we're helping them come into our world. It's been wildly successful. It's been great.
We need pizza. If I was on a deserted island and there was only one food that I could be stuck with, I think it'd be pizza.
I agree.
I think it's got the tomatoes, the vegetable. You got the cheese, which is, I don't know, it's my protein, my dairy. The dough, I don't know what that is, but I like it.
I think you can also have a breakfast pizza.
Breakfast pizza, yeah. So pizza is what I want if I'm on a deserted island.
When I'm in the nursing home, it's the only thing I care about. I want to be on speed dial to the pizza shop.
To the pizza shop. I agree.
It's 4 food groups food,
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. So it wouldn't be a podcast without a crystal ball moment. That's where we ask our guests where they see restaurants and technology 2 years from now, not a year from now, not 5, but 2. And being that we're at Fast Casual today, we want you to know when we come back here from 2 years, what do you think is going to be happening? What do you think we'll be at?
Well, you can see from some of the speakers that we've had over the past 2 days. I mean, technology, we're just living in an incredible time. I mean, I know that's a throwaway line, but let's take one piece of it. Payments. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 millennial children. They don't carry cash with them.
They don't even carry a wallet.
They don't. Right. Exactly.
A phone. All they need is their phone.
And while I don't think we're going to become a cashless society anytime soon, I think the fact that everybody better get there. Everybody better have that other option. Those kinds of things. Believe it or not everybody is where they should be. So that's a piece of technology that they will learn and grow through our summits, through best practices.
And you've got a lot of stuff with payments, right? You've got a few different payment conferences, payment publications.
Yeah. We have the banking customer experience. All of what we do, by the way, rolls up under the customer experience, like 90% of it. To us, the customer experience begins in the kitchen while they're cooking the food. That's where we believe it begins, right down to the end, till the customer comes in and walks out.
I love it. Listen, we will be back here with you in 2 years to see where we are on payments. But before we end, Kathy, because I know you got a show to run, there's about 2,000 people out there waiting for you. And due to our technical problems, we were a little late. We're going to do the branded quickfire Indianapolis version, Indianapolis edition. I'm going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. Are you ready?
I don't know.
Okay, well, here we go. Favorite Indiana-born musician, Michael Jackson or Axl Rose?
I like Michael Jackson.
Who doesn't like Michael Jackson?
I thought we were going to go with John Mellencamp. Okay.
Is he from Indiana?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. It's not on my list. It wasn't a choice. Michael Jackson, Axl Rose, or John Mellencamp?
I like Michael Jackson.
We're still going Michael Jackson. All right. Indiana Hoosiers or Notre Dame Fighting Irish?
My husband's a big Notre Dame fan, so
I got to tell you, everyone's a Notre Dame fan. It's like the Yankees. Everyone loves Notre Dame. Favorite race car themed movie, Talladega Nights or the Fast and the Furious episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or 7?
What about 9?
Or 9, any of them. Never saw any of them. Kathy, just make it up and we don't care.
9.
9. You heard it. The Fast and Furious
9.
episode 9 or part 9. Okay.
I've never seen any of them either. So.
True or false? Sliced bread was invented in Indianapolis.
Oh, it's true.
It is true.
Wow.
It is true. Sliced bread, and there's a saying. Isn't there a saying about sliced bread?
It's the new POS.
It's
Does this mean I can go on Jeopardy?
sliced bread is the new POS. It's not toast. It's sliced bread. But yes, for all you people that love sliced bread out there, thank you to Indianapolis, because you'd still be having loaves. Okay. If you were to challenge Rev or I to a race on the famous NASCAR track, would you have better odds of beating?
Let me see. He's got the hat.
He does. He does have a racing cap on. He's got the derby
He
cap
looks
on.
serious about it.
I agree. I would pick Rev. Rev looks like a serious racer.
By the way, my uncle is Mario Andretti. So.
And his uncle's Mario Andretti, so he probably knows a little something about race car driving. Well, listen, Kathy, I know you got a lot going on today. Thanks for stopping by. I apologize for the technical difficulty. This is awesome. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for having us. And thank you for everything you do for the industry, because it's awesome. Bringing all these people together, it's just great.
Thank you.
And we love being here in Indianapolis. I'm looking forward to a great night tonight.
Great.
Right? Aren't we doing aren't we racing cars tonight?
Racing cars.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that I love about this event is it changes locations.
Every year.
I'm so sick of going to Las Vegas.
Every year.
Out there.
Every year. Thank you both.
Okay, this episode was sponsored by the Las Vegas Convention Association. Hey, thanks again,
Thank you
Kathy.
both.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, Rev, you're doing a great job filling in for Jimmy.
Thank
The
you.
marketing guy is fantastic. I got to tell you, you're not as good looking as Jimmy,
Well, you know.
but you're fantastic. I got to tell you, Kathy is great. They put on a great show, and it's great to be here. Listen, we got a super special guest right now, Jim Bitticks, president and COO of one of the hottest, no pun intended, one of the hottest concepts sweeping the nation right now. It's Dave's Hot Chicken. We all know, I mean, nobody knows more about hot chicken than you. I see it all over your social media. And we are really fortunate to have Dave with us right now. I tasted some of the hot chicken last night. I don't think I got the hot. I think I got the very mild. And I got to tell you, my mouth was burning. Dave took a bite of the super hot chicken, and it didn't seem to faze him at all, which is crazy. So without further ado, let's jump into it right now. Jim, tell us a little about yourself and Dave's Hot Chicken, and we're going to dive into it.
Well, Dave's Hot Chicken is a concept that started in a parking lot just 5.5 years ago with 3 guys, $900, an Igloo ice chest, an Easy Up, and a portable fryer. They got strategically lucky that Farley Elliott, a blogger from Eater, LA, came in on the 3rd day, loved it, posted a blog article on it the next day. They were wrapped around the block, and it never stopped. So about 8 months later, they opened their first brick and mortar. And here we are 5.5 years later with, we're about to open our 84th location on Thursday.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. That'll be our first one in Arizona. Actually, just opened in Dubai. We've got 2 more coming, one more in Dubai, one in Qatar right ahead of the World Cup, and 3 in Toronto. And like I said, the balance are in the US.
That is absolutely awesome. And listen, something at Brandon we love about brands such as yours is your willingness to test and invest in early stage hospitality technology, because that's what we love doing, man. We love it. We love restaurants and we love tech. Can you share any new companies that you've added to your internal tech stack? And hopefully there's some of the companies that are in the branded portfolio.
Like guest tech stack or tech stack in general?
You know what? Anything you want, any technology that you're loving right now that you guys are testing out.
So about a year ago, we made the switch into Revel POS. And so they do all of our POS, and that's been pretty successful so far.
Right.
About 2 years ago, when I first got on board, we went over to Olo for all the third-party stuff and the aggregation of that into our system. And we've been doing and working with Olo ever since. Some of the guest stuff that we're using Tattle for our guest surveys.
Yeah, we love Tattle. Alex, great New York guy. New York guy.
He is a New York guy.
Yeah,
I think he tried to move to California for a little while and couldn't hack it. So
yeah, no, he couldn't hack California. He's a New York guy. He can't handle that.
And then what else? We use Bird Eye also.
For that's social media
and
reviews.
Marketforce. We also use Marketforce. So
yeah,
that's kind of our guest service stuff on the back end.
That's awesome.
I want to know the last time you ate the Reaper.
The last time I ate the Reaper was probably 2 months ago. We've been working on making it a little hotter.
How can something be called the Reaper and be made hotter?
Well, funny story. A few years ago, a guy and his girlfriend came in. One of them ordered Reaper, one of them ordered mild. They switched them at the table accidentally, and the guy ended up in an ambulance because he thought he was dying. So, hence the Reaper waiver that you have to sign whenever you try the Reaper, and they dialed it back a bit. That was before I joined the team, but since joining, I'm like, Reaper should be Reaper. It shouldn't put you in the hospital, but it should make you feel like you want to go to the hospital.
Have you had the Reaper?
So when they opened the New York City store, I ate every single spice level from not hot to Reaper.
And what did you think?
I could eat it hotter,
yes,
but it was very hot.
So what do we call that? Reaper Plus?
The Reaper's Reaper?
The Reaper?
I think we want to get back to the original Reaper. We want to get back to the ambulance Reaper. And that's the goal.
That's the name.
That's the goal here eventually to get it back to being.
So, Jim, have you been to the Fast Casual some before? Is this your first time?
I think it's only third or fourth time.
Third or fourth time. What are you thinking so far? So what's the buzz so far at the show? I know it's early, but so far, what do you think?
It feels good. It feels very collegial, or very, very willing to interact with each other and share best practices. I was walking with a CEO and a COO last night, and they were talking about talking shop in a very positive way. Oh, you got to find a co-packer to help you with proprietary sauces, and it's very much that vibe of like working with each other.
Yeah, I think the restaurant business, having been in it for so long, it's one of the industries. Jimmy's not here today, but he's finance guy. And one thing Jimmy always says, the asshole factor in the restaurant business is very low. He comes out of finance; he's always very high.
Yeah.
And I think being in the restaurant space in New York City, one thing I always liked is if I need to borrow something from a case of Corona or napkins, you go to your neighbor restaurant. It was like, sure, of course, here, you need change. Whatever you needed. So I think restaurant folks, inherently, we are good people, fun people.
I think that's true. I think it's because it's born of a lot of hard work and having to work side by side with people. I'm not only the president of Dave's Hot Chicken, the company, but I'm also a franchisee.
I was going to say he's like the hair club for men, right?
I'm also a member. And
Jim's got a full head of hair, by the way. It's gorgeous.
one of my partners in that endeavor is a CFO, and I'll tell you, he is not an a-hole. Actually, he's a super good guy. So, and he didn't come up through the restaurants; he came up through finance. So,
what I didn't say all finance people. just generally speaking, restaurant people are really, it's low, finance a little higher. To all those finance people out there listening, that was Rev came up with that idea. That was not me. That was Rev's idea.
Now, I've had people just walk up to me here and just ask me like, "Hey, I'm trying to solve this problem." Like, people seem to be interested in figuring things out here. Like, it's not vacation. You know what I mean?
I think there's a very fun vibe here too. I think it's like about hanging out and having a good time. I have in my mind, I have this imaginary scenario because it's all the same people that you see at the various shows. They must all have this like super good like friendship where they see each other like, oh, I'll see you in Vegas, I'll see you in Charlotte, I'll see you in whatever.
It is.
It's like my road family.
It is. It's the road family. It is because you see people. I'll see and it's just you get to know each other on a. It's not just professional, but on a personal level. You really start to know each other, their family, and they're about their kids or their girlfriends or wives or spouses, I should say, right? Because it was right. But yeah, it's great. It's great stuff. Later today, Jim. You are a panelist on the session From Ghost Kitchens to Ghosting. Can you share with our guests at home one or two takeaways about the topic and the insights you have to share?
Sure. So it's going to be, I think it's mostly focused on third-party delivery and how you make the most of third-party delivery. For Dave's, we just opened our first ghost kitchen, 3 or 4 months ago, so it's been a new experience. And
Can you share a little bit more, like who'd you open that with? Is that your
Kitchen
own?
United.
Kitchen United.
Kitchen United.
KU.
Yeah, KU.
Shout out to KU. Love those guys.
It's interesting because our office is in Pasadena on the 5th floor of the Pasadena Playhouse. Sounds a lot more interesting than it is. It's a super old building. But right behind us, Kitchen United has their facility, so it worked out to be great. It's turned into this like test kitchen sort of for us as we work on different things, and it's right there. And it's great because it's the closest Dave's now, so you can have Dave's for lunch every day if you want to.
That is where the ambulance reaper will be developed.
Is that what we're calling it? The ambulance reaper? Is that breaking news? Is that breaking news?
I don't think so. I don't think
Jim Bitticks has just announced the new Reaper sandwich is now called the Ambulance Reaper. That is a Fast Casual Summit. Breaking news. Thank you for that.
I think one of our founders would probably kill me for that. He thinks the Reaper isn't our best product, obviously. So, he wants people to try it like in the sweet spot of medium or whatever. But the other big piece, and you talked about the collegiality of restaurant people. We've been talking about doing virtual brands and what that looks like. And the Dog Haus guys, they did a whole suite.
Guess who's following up you?
Oh, is it
Andre's going to be here from Dog Haus.
He's on the same panel with me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they've been great partners in terms of like calling and asking, well, what'd you do about this? Or how did you do this? Or whatever. They've got a great brand called Badass Breakfast Burritos. So I joke around with those guys all the time with André and Hago, saying we're going to open ours and it's going to be called Kick-Ass Breakfast Burritos.
There you go.
So, speaking of collegiality and helping each other out.
100%. 100%.
Helping me with the
goes
brand.
for the hybrid of the bad butt. I don't want a bad butt burrito.
Yeah, I don't want the bad butt. Yeah, I don't want any butt in my food.
All right, well, listen, it wouldn't be a podcast without a crystal ball moment. We asked our guests where they see restaurants and technology 2 years from now. So when we come back to Fast Casual 2 years, wherever they decide to have it, being that we're at Fast Casual, they want to know, where do you think we'll be in 2 years? What's coming? What's new topics?
Where will we be in tech?
Sure.
Is that the question? Okay. I think that you'll see a lot more of geofencing around restaurants through their apps. Right now, it's all segregated. It's like you have to have this app on top of your own app or whatever. I think it'll all be integrated. It'll be like everything that's kind of feeling super fresh right now will now be old, and you'll have some new thing coming up. I'm hoping to see something that helps with restaurant accuracy, because I think for at least it appears to me that that's usually the problem with all this off-premise stuff. People getting their food home and then it's the wrong heat level. Like imagine you getting extra hot, like the one you tried to buy last night versus
seriously, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Am I wrong?
Sure. Yeah. Plus, it just pisses people off to not get the right food. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that's the next big thing, and I'm not sure what that looks like exactly. I think it's just old school restaurant management operations.
Yeah,
like
I think giving a shit,
Yeah,
you got to care.
Yeah, you got to care, and there's got to be somebody that actually checks it and says, yeah, this is right. And I don't know how you put that in.
Well, there's some tech out there that's getting there, that AI, machine learning kind of stuff, and computer vision and stuff. It's out there.
Where are you at with what are your thoughts on Web3?
I don't know what Web3 is.
NFTs, crypto.
Oh, it's interesting. I don't know. Like that. One of our founders is super cool, on top of everything. And for about a day and a half, he was all about it. And then day 2.5 later, and this is normal for him, he's just like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. So we were playing around with the idea of doing something around it, and then he's just like, let's hold back. So it's a good question. I don't know. Yeah,
we'll see how Web3 goes. I think we'll continue to see more as tech evolves. All right, listen, it wouldn't be a branded podcast without the quick fire Indianapolis edition. I'm going to ask 5 lightning round questions.
I think
Are you ready?
It should be quick fire. It should be quick Reaper.
The Quick Reaper. Are you ready for the Quick Reaper Indianapolis edition?
Yes.
Favorite Indiana-born musician: Michael Jackson, Axl Rose, or John Mellencamp?
John Mellencamp, 100%.
John Mellencamp. All right, glad we added that.
I already knew that he was an Indiana-born. He's like my favorite artist by chance.
Well, there you go.
We added that one in last week.
We just added that. Yeah. Indiana Hoosiers or Notre Dame Fighting Irish? Hoosiers. Favorite race car themed movie: Talladega Nights or The Fast and the Furious? Any of them?
Fast and the Furious.
Which one?
I would say the first one. But
first one. All right.
It launched a whole franchise.
True or false? Sliced bread was invented in Indianapolis.
I'm going to say, I'm watching your eyes to tell me from that. False.
It's true. It's true. Sliced bread. In fact, the sliced bread that we had last night on the hot, it was invented here in Indianapolis. Thank God for Indianapolis and sliced bread, because where would it be out? Sliced bread, just big loaves. I mean, how can you put a loaf of bread in the toaster? It doesn't fit.
I don't know.
You hollow it with your fist and then drop all the tenders in.
Like a bread bowl.
Yeah, like a bread bowl.
If you were to challenge Rev or I to a race on the famous NASCAR track here in Indianapolis, who would you have better odds of beating?
Who would I have better odds of? I'm not sure. I'd probably lose, to be honest with you. I'm the worst driver there is.
Well, I'm from New York City, so I mean, that gives you an idea of the kind of driver I am.
Everyone that knows me knows I always try to get out of driving. Anywhere I go, I try to go with somebody else. And then
so you're saying that you would lose to
chance.
either? Look at that. I don't think that's ever happened before. Jim would lose to both of us. That is the first time. All right. Excellent. Listen, Jim, I apologize for the delay today, but thanks for stopping by. It's awesome. Thanks for sharing the hot chicken sandwich with me yesterday.
Sure.
Congrats on all the success. It's amazing. And we'll certainly see you around the show. And tonight we got a big party. Aren't we racing cars tonight?
I'm hoping to be taken out by a Reaper.
So you're going to have to drive Jim, because you don't have to drive.
I'm going to drive Jim.
You're going to drive Jim around.
You're going to eat the Reaper.
I'm going to eat the Reaper. And yeah, but this is awesome. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
Awesome. I got to tell you, Dave's Hot Chicken blowing up. Jim, Bitticks, great guy.
Reaper, other things will blow up.
Yeah, no, I got to tell you, listen, we're having a great time. We're doing the podcast live from Indianapolis, Fast Casual Summit. It's just awesome. We had a great time last night hanging out with new friends, old friends. By the way, we had a steak at a very famous steakhouse, St. Elmo's Steakhouse, since 1902.
I think we ordered 7 different steaks at St. Elmo's.
Yeah, well, we have to check. I mean, Rev, you've got some great social media for that, because there's a lot of beef on that table.
Oh, those will be making appearances on the Instagram.
And the interesting thing, which I never knew, they're super famous for their shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And what I also learned was it's really just shrimp, and they just put a ton of their really special cocktail sauce on top.
And by special, you mean?
It has 3 ingredients. We learned last night it only has 3 ingredients.
Which is horseradish, horseradish, and
ketchup.
Ketchup.
Vinegar.
Oh.
By the way, that third voice you just heard chime in, it's a great segue, because that third voice you just heard chime in is none other than the famous, yes, I say famous, Zack Oates, founder and CEO of Ovation. This is a very special episode for Zack. He doesn't know this yet, but October 2020 was his first episode on the Hangout. It was season 2. We are on season 8. This is his 3rd episode. He is catching up to none other than someone who also has great hair, Sterling Douglas.
Oh, wow.
I mean, when you talk about Zack Oates and Sterling Douglas, what comes to your mind?
Hair.
Great hair.
Great hair.
Not just hair, great hair.
Tall,
handsome, great hair. Really. So this is really a special episode. So we are lucky enough to, had a great dinner at St. Elmo's Steakhouse yesterday.
Thank you, Chef.
And we have Zack live with us right now. So let's jump into it. Zack, it's clear to anyone who attends trade shows or follows you in general that not only do you have great hair, but when you and Ovation are on a panel, don't expect the ordinary, because you're going to get extraordinary. Do you see what I just did there? Did you see what I did there? This morning, you were a member of the Shark Tank group of judges for Fast Casual's version of The Tank, The Perfect Pitch. What can you tell us? Who was the winner? Who was the audience favorite? Talk to me, Zack.
So there were 5 awesome companies. This year, luckily, everyone was very vetted to make sure that they all had restaurants. As we remember,
insider joke right there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a debacle last year around that, but this year was awesome. 5 great companies. The winner was a pie company based out of Utah called Flake Pie Company, and I got a chance to sample some of the pies, and it was really good.
So you've not had it though. You live in Salt Lake.
I never. Yeah, exactly. So I live right by there. Hadn't heard about them. But in Utah right now, there is just an explosion of sweet treats. So there was soda explosion, there was the frozen yogurt explosion, and now there's a cookie wars going on in Utah. But one of these companies, they're doing this pie company. It's amazing, And so
great video, by the way. Good looking pies.
I had a pie in a cone recently.
I had a pizza in a cup.
I love that movie.
That's a little jerk reference there for all you people out there. As a tech company over at Ovation, what keeps you coming back to Fast Casual Summit year after year?
This is such a good place to not just meet people, but reconnect with people. And this is something that's really fun. As I was looking through the agenda last night, it's like every single panel has an Ovation customer on it, which is really cool to see, because when we came here 2 years ago, we did not have a single customer that was here. And now we have like 50. So it's been really cool to connect with customers, get feedback on what they love about the product, ideas they have to improve it. And then obviously the thing I like about it this year especially is
by the way, I was just with Bubba Coos.
Oh, yeah.
With Chris from Bubba Coo.
Love Chris.
Yeah, he's an Ovation customer.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing is I literally got up there on stage and I was like, all right, time for me to do the perfect pitch. Raise your hand if you're an Ovation customer. And pretty much
crickets. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
and every table pretty much had an Ovation customer. So it was great to be able to just say, hey, here's the perfect pitch. Ask the person next to you how they like Ovation.
I got to tell you, you got to feel good. You got to feel good as a founder, an entrepreneur, CEO. You're standing on the stage. There's 1,000 people there, however many people there. It was 1,000 people. You're an indie and you say, who's an Ovation customer? And a whole bunch of hands go up.
It's so wild to think about it, because I remember coming up with this idea. I remember going to restaurants and being like, man, they need something better than online reviews or like these dumb long surveys. And so it's really cool to see how many people have joined the Ovation Nation in the last few years. And
wait a minute, Ovation Nation? Is that breaking news?
The Ovation Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ovation Nation has just been announced on the Hangout. Breaking news. Jimbo, breaking news. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a battle royal tonight in the Ovation Nation.
Oh, I love it.
Zack, you recently released your newest product update, Ovation Insights.
Yes.
It is the
it's
future.
About time we needed something new. Zach, what the hell you been doing all year?
I mean, the original product's pretty darn good, though.
I'm just kidding.
New releases every 2 weeks isn't enough for Schatzberg.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I want every week something new from this guy.
Can you share with everybody? I mean, we know, but can you share with everybody what Insights does and how that works?
Yeah. So first of all, we are built on the foundation that things should be frictionless for the guest.
Yes.
And so
we don't like friction.
Right. So with that, we have all of these, it's a 2-question survey. So it makes it really easy for the guest. And then for the manager, for the owner of that location, they can respond to that guest. So we have the most amount of people taking the Ovation survey, the most amount of people responding. And then the question was, okay, what do we do with all this data? And people were asking for, hey, I want to see a trend of what's going on. Well, the problem is if you're only looking at your online reviews of the Ovation feedback, there's not like a specific score for, accuracy of the order, of cleanliness, of timeliness, of, food quality, of food preparation. So what we did was we interviewed all of our customers and we broke it down to 34 subcategories and categories on what do they want to track. And then we created a BI tool that will go through all of that open-ended feedback of all of your online reviews from Google, Facebook, Yelp, TripAdvisor, of all of your Ovation feedback that we're getting. And we put that together in our database, we analyze it, and we tag every single piece of feedback as one or multiple of those 34 categories. And then we're able to create a heat map where we can tell you exactly what to fix where so you can drive operational improvement. Because data shows that for every one complaint you get, there are 26 people who had the same complaint that didn't share it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So you don't want to just fix the problem with the one guest. You want to make sure that you're fixing the root problem. And that's what we're able to do. So we're able to surface that in the Insights tool. And we spent a year building this to make it very user-friendly, super easy to, it's like a whack-a-mole. You look at the heat map and it tells you exactly what location has what problem.
What's a whack-a-mole? Like guacamole?
I just want everybody to know. And if you
is that like guacamole?
If you follow me on Instagram, you already know this. I am the world's greatest whack-a-mole champ. I've never been beaten.
I think I've seen you do the guacamole. Weren't you just recently like somewhere with the kids or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, listen, I got to tell you, that is really cool. And it's about time you came up with this because I've been asking for it for years. And I just want to let everyone know this was my idea. And I've been asking for this for a long time.
I mean, look, in my restaurant, Handcraft Burgers and Brew, we use Ovation. We love Ovation. And you know what one of the biggest complaints is? I'm bringing this up for Zack for a reason.
Oh.
People don't understand the French fries.
What do you mean?
Like we get negative feedback about the French fries.
Why?
Well, maybe not
because they don't understand them. I mean, I know how you feel.
What's to understand about a French fry?
Well, but these French fries are like next level. There's good French fries, and then there's Handcraft Burgers and Brew French fries. Like,
well, I've eaten Handcraft Brew. I got to tell you, I love the burgers, I love the fries, I love the whole thing. So maybe you just got some weird customers over there, man.
Well, you know, we use a chipping potato. It's made for chips, not French fries, but we wanted a French fry that tastes like a potato chip.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Listen, Zack, I'm going to our Disney World moment. What's next for Ovation?
Oh, next for Ovation. So we have got some really cool stuff coming out. I know my head of product and co-founder is going to kill me for talking about this, but
no one listens to the podcast.
So one of the things that we're really thinking about is not just how do we survey customers, but how do we stay in touch with customers? How do we engage with our guests as opposed to just asking them how their experience was? And so what we're looking at is other ways that we can engage with guests. One of those and all the channels that we can engage with guests. So one that we just launched is drive-through. So you could now ask your customers about their experience 30 minutes after they go through the drive-through. So we have QR codes that we put in the drive-through. So as they're waiting, scanning, they can scan it, enter the information, and get that a follow-up. It also works great for menu boards or TVs. If you have working with companies like Atmosphere, you can show up a QR code on the TV screen. The other thing that we're doing is web chat. So we have had a light form of web chat that we've tested out for the last 6 months. It's worked extremely well. And so now in the next few months, we're going to be rolling out a heavier version of web chat that's going to be fully integrated. And so we're really excited for that, as well as, you know, completely revamping our app to make it even easier to respond to your guests and get them to come back in.
So do you have any time for the kids? I mean, you're at, aren't we expecting another baby?
Not yet, but we got 3 kids right now, my wife and I, and really, I guess my wife mainly, because I'm gone for 2 weeks,
250,000 days a year.
Well, listen, man, he's got to bring home the bacon, baby. I love it. I love what you're doing, man.
He's the only person that goes to more trade shows than you, me, or Jimmy.
Zack is definitely. I understand he's having his own trade show. It's just the Zack show.
The Zack show.
The Zack show.
I got a phone call from the Zack show at Christmas last year. So
that you did.
All right. Well, listen, it wouldn't be a podcast without a crystal ball moment. So where we ask our guests where they see restaurants and technology.
It's his 3rd podcast. This guy's a pro.
2 years from now. All right. Maybe this is somebody, whoever's listening, this is their first episode. It's
impossible. It's the most heavily listened to podcast next to Joe Rogan.
We're at Fast Casual. We want to know, when we come back in 2 years, where will we be? What will people be talking about with restaurants?
A lot more hands going up for the Ovation customers, I'll bet.
There we go.
Hold on. Before you answer that, will the Bicky to Ovation integration have happened by 2 years ago?
We are working on that.
Okay.
Abhinav is just, he's a great guy. So that's one that we're working on for sure. But yeah, we have over 50 integrations, hired a full-time developer just to do integrations because we understand how critical that is. So we are working on that. What is going to happen in the next 2 years? One of the things I'm seeing is there's going to be a lot more back-of-house automation, but I don't think that we're going to reduce staff because of that back-of-house automation. I think that as you look to the big players and what they're doing in this industry, they're pulling people around the counter, especially in the fast casual space. It's going to be more around the table touch. It's going to be more around providing hospitality in this arena than there has been before, because right now it's just so tough to provide that hospitality when you're working with so many customers, one door, not a lot of labor. But I think that's going to be something that we're going to really need to focus on. I also think that the price, we're going to see a lot of take on price. People are going to start to have to bump up their prices as minimum wage increases. I don't think supply chain costs are going to be going down that much. And so I think that we're going to see more expensive food, and it's going to be something that, as we get out of this recession, I think that's going to be something that is going to enable us to invest more into the technology to bring people out. I think hospitality is going to really make a comeback.
I love the comeback. A lot of finance stuff in his response. I think he's feeling Jimmy not here, and he's like, you know what? We got the restaurant guy, we got the marketing guy, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to be the finance guy. Jimmy's not going to be happy about that because he was throwing a lot of finance stuff in there, talking about like inflation, stock markets, bull markets, a lot of weird stuff coming out of Zack.
I thought Zack was talking about handcraft burgers and brew because we don't have any cash registers. But
all right, listen, we're running late, so I got to go right to the branded quickfire. Okay, we're going right to Indianapolis edition of the branded quickfire. You've been on this podcast many times. You and your hair have been here many times. Are you ready? 5 lightning round questions.
Ready.
Here we go. Shoot. Favorite Indiana-born musician? Michael Jackson, Axl Rose, or John Cougar Mellencamp?
MJ.
The answer is MJ. Okay. Indiana Hoosiers or Notre Dame Fighting Irish?
Hoosiers, because Notre Dame just beat BYU.
All right. Whoa. Favorite race car themed movie? Talladega Nights or any Fast and the Furious?
Cars.
Okay, I didn't put that one in there. Okay, Cars. There's a guy who definitely has kids. Okay. True or false? Sliced bread was invented in Indianapolis.
False.
That is true. The answer is true. No. Sliced bread. We would have loaves of bread, and there would be no sliced bread.
And
there'd be no Wonder Bread. There'd be no Wonder Bread. It'd just be
a bite of bread.
When you went to school, your mom made you a sandwich. It would just be a loaf. It would be a loaf and a salami. You had to make it yourself. So thank God for Indianapolis and sliced bread. All right. If you were to challenge Rev or I to a race on the famous NASCAR track, we had better odds of beating.
I'd say Shatsy. I'd probably beat you.
Yeah, you'd probably beat me.
He has a Mustang.
Yeah, he knows what I drive.
Yeah, he does. And he's got, look at that hat. He's got the Derby hat on. He's
I've driven in what do you call it? Medium rare.
Yeah.
All right, listen, Zack, I know you got a lot of selling to do. We got to get a lot more hands up when they say, are you an Ovation customer? His first episode was October 2020 for season 2. This is his 3rd episode, season 8. We really appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing at Ovation and everything you're doing for restaurant operators. You are really making things happen. Thanks for stopping by. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with you tonight and racing some cars.
Let's do it.
I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass. I'll tell you that. Thanks a lot,
I think
man.
if Shatsy's going to race me and Zack, he needs to up the shirt game a little. So.
I'm a simple
For
man.
those of you listening, Zack is wearing I don't know if technically it's a Hawaiian shirt, but it's covered in
watermelons, I think. And Rev's wearing his traditional Hawaiian garb, famous for Indianapolis. Yeah, both very well. Anyway, this is awesome. I appreciate everything you're doing, and we'll see you later today, buddy.
Okay,
thanks so much. I got to tell you, having Zack on from Ovation, always a great guest, right?
Lots of energy.
He really is he really is the face of many trade shows.
He's like the game show host of trade shows.
It really is.
He's like the Bob Barker.
And the two of you wear your funny shirts around. I mean, I got to tell you, it is a lot of fun. I got to tell you.
We're easy to find.
You were definitely easy to find. We are really fortunate right now to have a super special guest with us. I got to tell you, we've had a great lineup here. Great lineup here.
I agree.
So we've got great concept, Dog Haus. André, it's
Vener.
André Vener. I probably should have asked that before the podcast started. I probably should have asked Vener how to pronounce your last name. I apologize.
That's why I go by Rev.
Rev's easy.
It's André Vener, partner, founder, builder, entrepreneur, so many things of Dog Haus. Listen, we just spoke with Jim Bitticks, who is going to be a fellow panelist for your breakout session later today.
I'm excited. He's a great guy.
He is. From ghost kitchens to ghosting. And by the way, the guy he just took last night a hot sandwich, his Dave's hot chicken, the Reaper, just ate it like right there. Like nothing. He's like, Schatz, you want to try? I'm like, absolutely not.
By the way, he talked about your breakfast burritos too.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. We had a great conversation. Look, we know the session hasn't happened yet, but can you share with our guests at home 1 or 2 takeaways about the topic and any insights you have to share?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking about some ghost kitchens, what's going on in that space. One of the things that I'll be talking about is the Kroger partnership that we have with Kitchen United.
Oh, it's awesome.
I think it's something that's really cool that they're doing. Most ghost kitchens, I mean, traditionally the way they started was somewhere not on Main and Main, somewhere like 5 blocks away in some warehouse on the 2nd floor. and people would order the food and they would come to you and they would know, that's what they thought the business model would be. But what's really going on is people want to still walk in. They want to see where the place is. They want to pick it up. They want to, get an eye on it. I think what's amazing with Kitchen United and Kroger is you're inside a grocery store. So now you got 2 million eyes coming through the door. People experience it. They're picking it up. They're placing the order before they shop, and they go shop, and everything's ready to come home. Because you guys know with kids, you don't want to like go shopping, spend an hour after work, and then have to go home and cook that meal on the same day. It's like there's only so much bandwidth.
Listen, so kids are really annoying.
Totally annoying.
I think grocery stores are really annoying, but I think it's an amazing concept.
And I think what's awesome too with Kitchen United and what we're working with on their tech stack is that you could order from any of the brands that are there. So my kid wants their plain cheeseburger. I would like some sushi. My wife would want a salad. And we could order all from different concepts, put them in one basket. And I think it's amazing.
That is awesome. Listen, before we go further, let me just take a step back and just talk to you a little about Dog Haus. Tell me how the concept started. How many stores you got? What's going on? What's new? Just give me a little Dog Haus talk.
Yeah, Dog Haus started in 2010. Me and my two buddies started that, and we always had a passion for hot dogs. I'm born in Switzerland, raised in Germany, so came from that side and always wanted to have a hot dog stand one day.
I always thought the hot dog was from Coney Island.
No.
I always thought the hot dog was Coney Island.
German, of course, the absolute worst. So we created that. I guess we're on now 12 years ago, sorry. And we've been doing that. We have about 75 locations now, 20 states. 50 of those the traditional beer garden brick and mortars, and we have special sites with Live Nation. We're in 20 of their large amphitheaters.
And what's the plan for New York City?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's up with New Jersey?
Yeah, why do you hate New York City?
We want to go there. We're in a couple places in Mohican Lake, and we're in Clifton Park. So we're working our way to New York City. So we have 2 New York. We have all of Maryland.
I think we like hot dogs in New York.
Give
Nathan's a run for their money.
They did a pop-up in New York for a while.
We did a pop-up.
And how'd that go?
It went very well. We were there for 3 months, and we loved it there. And we might go there with some of the Kitchen United locations. But I think New York and Chicago, it's a very interesting market with the hot dogs. So we came into Chicago and got our asses kicked there. We went to Lincoln Park. Somehow the franchisee decided to hire a local PR person because they, very particular.
Right.
And they said, they changed the press release and said the first gourmet hot dogs ever to hit Chicago are coming. We made the cover of the Tribune. We made it. We made everything and said, boycott these guys.
Not what you were looking for.
We just crashed.
That really helps business out. Don't eat here.
The poor franchisee struggled. And he's 2 years into it, and he was going to close his store. His weekly sales are about $10,000, dying. And then right when the pandemic happened, he was the first person where we did ghost kitchens and try these virtual brands. And so he said, just give us a chance. We're going to roll out these virtual brands. Today, he's our number one franchisee.
Oh, wow.
He went from $10,000 a week to $60,000 a week. Not selling hot dogs, all selling virtual brands. The Bad Mother
That's
Cluckers,
awesome, man. But
Badass Breakfast Burritos.
Look at that. A negative turned to a positive.
Turned to a positive. And
I
then
love
we
it.
opened 3-4 more locations in Chicago and a bunch in opening in Florida.
But note to self, hot dogs in Chicago, maybe you should let Portillo's do their thing over there.
No, we're doing fine there. It's just one of those things where everybody has their hometown dog.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, I appreciate you giving us a little color on Dog Haus and how well you're doing, and congrats on all the success. That is awesome. Let's change gears back to Fast Casual Summit, because that's where we are here in Indianapolis, and we're loving it. There's definitely a core group of operators that attend a lot of the major shows. You see a lot of the same people. We call it the show families, the show family, Rev and I are both here a lot. Jimmy is not here today, but he's generally with us at all the trade shows. It's like a club, while each show has its own theme or target operator. Can you share what keeps you coming back to Fast Casual Summit each year?
Well, I think it's important to represent the brand. That's why I'm coming out here. Tell everyone what we're doing. Also feel like we're not competitors at all. So I like to go and share everything we're doing and really make the connections every single time I come. Like last night I went to dinner, I met 4 new people and 4 new people.
Where'd you go? Anywhere good? We went to St. Elmo's.
We went right next door.
Oh, that's their place.
The other one. So we had the shrimp.
The shrimp cocktail. Yeah.
We had a good time there.
Yeah.
But no, it's always good to meet new people and then just share everything. Like Jim Bitticks and I are on phone calls, and we're meeting later today to talk some business. How can we help? How can we work together? What are the tricks of the trade? How can we leverage relationships? So I come here to continue trying to meet new people and try to fix this battle that we're all trying to, to fight, so we're not, I think 4 or 5 years ago felt like, okay, we're different than, there's virtual dining concepts, there's Next Bite, there's Reef, there's Cloud, there's Kitchen United. Everyone's like competition. We're the absolute brand. And then now we're all here hanging out, trying to say, hey, how do we fight this? What can we do? What tricks are you learning? So
that's awesome. I think Takes a village, as Jimmy likes to say.
Yeah,
I think it's important to come to these things so you get out of your weeds for a minute. You know what I mean? Like I call it getting in the shower. That's where all the best ideas happen, right? Yeah, in the shower. So
no, I think it's good to come out here, and it's also a nice little break every once in a while. And I wanted to come out to Indy because I've never been here, so take advantage of that.
Yeah, and you hit a great restaurant last night. Got a famous shrimp cocktail. Yeah, that's awesome.
What'd you think of the cocktail sauce?
It was definitely it had some horseradish in it. Right?
I got to tell you, I took the first one. I didn't know. I just thought it was a
I went in there the same thing. I was
like, sinuses were cleared up, man. Wow,
pretty fun.
I think they need to serve that as like the hangover on the first or second day. Like you come downstairs before the first person goes on stage, just do a shot of the cocktail sauce.
I would tell you that's a great idea. By the way, I would take that, throw that in a glass with some vodka, and that would be my Bloody Mary, because that would wake your ass up.
That would wake you up.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, you've had a great year with Dog Haus. I recently read an article that said looking to expand 75 locations this year.
No, we expanded to 75. We are, though, opening up just in this quarter another 10.
That's amazing.
So beer garden, so that's like 20% growth just in this next quarter. So we're going to do another 20 plus next year. So.
What's the target? What area are you looking at? Was there any particular region?
We're in the franchise business, so whoever the phone rings and who wants to open up, but we're going all over Maryland. We're taking Texas. We're all over Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio.
Right.
All over Colorado is another big market we're taking, and then continue to grow in California.
Awesome. True story. The Texas wiener was not invented in Texas. It's invented in New Jersey.
Oh, so I was going to say Germany. I would say Germany.
What's next for Dog Haus?
Right now, we're going to roll out a new virtual brand called Big Belly Burgers, and it's something we've been working with, a new style of doing a different bun. Traditionally, everything we do is on King's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
So this can be a different kind of style, just your awesome roadside burger. We've been working on it for about 9 months now. I feel like it's ready to go this January. So that's one of the things.
Is that when you do that, do you test that like at a pop-up or something like that? Or is that you go to a Kitchen United and do a virtual?
Exactly. So we go from there. But once we have it all out, we've been working at like a corporate store or whatnot, then we'll roll it out to all locations.
Right.
And so it's just a different procedure on how to make the burger different. We smash the onions into the patty and different bun, and it's a unique.
Is that breaking news? Is that breaking news?
Sure, I think that's breaking news.
That is breaking news. Here we go. That is really just awesome.
All right. Well, listen, it wouldn't be a podcast without a crystal ball moment. We've asked this to all the other guests, so we're going to ask you as well. We want to see, where do you think that restaurants and technology will be in 2 years? So when we come back to fast casual, what are we going to be talking about? What will have happened? What will be important in 2 years?
Well, I think everyone's
going to a lot of those burger places to be around. I'll tell you that.
I think technology is going to be really. You have to use the technology to get the customers to come in. You need to use the technology like with Ovation to track their experience and fix those problems right away. I think you're going to continue having the QR codes, the kiosks, and all that kind of stuff. But I have to say, what we're looking at is getting technology to help make it efficient for the customer experience walking into the place, but then having that manager be on the floor explaining how that technology works, being there to help upsell, to talk to make sure that everything's right. So I think touching the tables is going to be most important, because with everything, we're at a place where we got dogs that are creeping up to $10, right? So it's a hot dog getting to a $10 market. Why is the guest paying that much money? So it's not only for the food, but you got to give the experience in there. So for us at Dog Haus, having the games on, having that vibe, the playlist, the lighting, the perfect, getting the
atmosphere, man. It's got to be an experience. Can't just be a hot dog anymore.
You know what? I mean, if you're going to charge that, and that's what it is, because you have to, that's what it costs. Great, but you can give the service. That doesn't cost any extra to give that extra service. So we're going to put extra, double down on the managers and taking care of our staff. We've learned that paying them extra, rewarding them, is way better to do that right away than it is to go train someone for 2 weeks. This whole thing, back in the day, restaurants would give managers, hey, we'll give you a bonus if you work for the whole year. And then they're like, what if I'm not here for 10 months? What if I'm not here later? What if the company goes out? That's a bad trick. We now give our managers part of the profits monthly. We have them look at the books. You don't have to have all these different metrics. Like your Yelp score has to be this. You have to do this. You have to do this. Show them the budget. Let them run it. Say you get part of the profit. They'll cut the staff. They'll manage it. They'll pick up a shift. And so I think just by making them be owners and treating them like the people that they are, they're the ones taking care of your customers. And if you're not going to treat the manager or your staff right, then why should they treat the customers the right way?
Man, you're spot on.
We're going to continue investing in all this amazing technology and working with them all, but we cannot forget about the customers who want somebody to come up to them, give them an experience.
I always used to say, like in our restaurants in New York, like you can, build a great restaurant, you can have great atmosphere, but you don't know what the staff, what that interaction's happening with the customers. You don't know what they're saying. You don't know what's happening. So you really want them to be happy at what they're doing and really love it. They're ambassadors for you.
They're leaving work. They're coming to our place at the end of the day, 5 o'clock, to grab a dog and a beer. They want to relax. They need that to be fun. They just got done with all the shit that's going on in their personal life, at their home life, at work, and all that kind of stuff. They're coming into Dog Haus to have a dog and a beer. You might as well make it fun because they got so much other shit going on that they have to. I'm sorry about that. But
no, this is you can say whatever you want. We are not FCC regulated here.
No, but they have so much stuff going on in their lives, and we're not just saving lives; we're just serving burgers and fries. So it's something
not curing cancer.
Yeah.
So everyone should have a good time.
Be fun.
I totally agree. And again, we've done the same thing in our restaurants. Our managers and our chefs are our partners because if they buy into it, then like you just said, everyone's going to have a great time. They're going to put 110% in every day.
And it starts at our corporate office. I mean, it's a big playground there. We treat everybody right. We take care of them. We take care of their families. We have ping pong tables in our office. We have kegerators. We just make it a fun work environment because they are the people who are talking to our franchisees. They are the people who are shareholders of franchisees.
Yep.
They're the one dealing with the reviews on Ovation, making sure that customer is taken care of. So we have to make it starts from the top down, having fun, and we let loose there.
I love it. I got to tell you, listen out there, operators out there, take it from André, 75 plus stores, open another God knows how many, and he's doing something right. So listen to this man because I think he's giving some good advice. All right, listen, we're going right into the branded quickfire. Okay. All right, I'm going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. It's branded quickfire Indianapolis. It is one of the most famous of all podcasts in the world. Nielsen said that this is the greatest segment ever. That's not me. That's Nielsen. So they know something about ratings. All right, here we go. Favorite Indiana-born musician: Michael Jackson, Axl Rose, or John Cougar Mellencamp?
Going with MJ.
All right, 3 MJs.
MJ. People like MJ.
Well,
Indiana.
I'm wearing my Michael Jordan. So
there you go. The other MJ.
The other MJ. Indiana Hoosiers or Notre Dame Fighting
Hoosiers.
Great
Hoosiers.
movie, by the way.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Love that whole scene. And a Trojan fan, so can't go Notre Dame.
Favorite race car themed movie: Talladega Nights, Fast and the Furious, or Cars?
Cars 3.
Cars
wow,
3.
Specifically, not
I'm glad we added Cars.
Cars 3.
True or false? Sliced bread was invented in Indianapolis.
1,000% true.
100% true. I wonder how he knows that. I wonder how he knows that.
I just happened to walk down the hallway and I heard something about it was invented here. So.
But I got to tell you, thank goodness for sliced bread. Where would we be without sliced bread? If you were to challenge Rev or I to a race on this famous NASCAR track, would you have better odds of beating? Schatz, watch this.
I think Schatzy, I'd have to beat you.
Of course you beat me.
I mean, this tattoo, the outfit, the
hat. Like this guy's a badass. And he's got like a Mustang. What do you have, a Charger? Or what do you got? What's your Mustang?
Yeah,
he's got a Mustang.
He's like a badass, We look like go grab a dog.
Yeah, exactly. I'm driving my automatic, like a, I don't know, some Lexus or something like that, something. Anyway, listen.
I live in the suburbs, so I can have a car like that and not have to pay to park it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, André, I know you're super busy. You got a lot of stores to open up. You got a lot of things to do. Really appreciate you stopping by. This was just awesome. Congrats on all the success. And just looking forward to hanging out with you with tonight.
Sounds fun.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yep. All right, I got to tell you, André and Dog Haus, they're doing some great things.
Yeah, definitely big. I mean, everybody we had on the show today doing big things.
We got some. Listen, we're getting some. It's season 8. We're getting great guests. I got to tell you, it was a little weird having not having Jimmy here, but I got to tell you, you did a great job stepping in, Rev. Thanks for giving us the time. This was awesome. Hey, listen, to all our listeners out there, thank you so much for taking the time to tune into this very special episode on the road, Fast Casual Summit, Indianapolis. We're having a blast. Look, we know there's hundreds of thousands of millions of billions of podcasts out there, but thank you for hanging out with us and choosing us at the Hospitality Hangout. Listen, if you want to get in touch with any of our guests directly, I have all their cell phone numbers. I'm just kidding. You can email us at podcast@brandonstrategic.com. That's podcast@brandonstrategic.com. If you want to be a guest on, if you want to talk to me, anything, just email me at podcast@brandonstrategic and I'll help answer any questions. Happy to make introductions for you to all of our guests that we've had here. And listen, to all our listeners out there, thank you. I think they put that in there twice.
Oh, that's
all right.
great.
Anyway, happy to make the introduction. Look, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on all the exciting guests we'll have in the future. Better yet, invite a friend to hang with us next time. So until next time, guys.
Keep the Reaper.
Yeah. Keep the Reaper.
Eat the Reaper.
Eat the Reaper, the ambulance Reaper. Thanks for tuning in. This is Shatsy, a.k.a. the restaurant guy, signing off the Hospitality Hangout, and over to Rev.
Rev the marketing guy.
Rev the marketing
Pleasure
guy.
and honor. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Cheers.